is this Parashah? No mention of his name. What's going on over here? So many answers to that, but one of them is that the sages tell us that this was the biggest compliment for Eliezer to be mentioned as a slave of Abraham, because he made himself so minuscule when he came to Abraham Avinu. He made himself so much into a nothing, and he gave up his whole personality, his whole being, in order to exemplify his Rebbe, his master Abraham, that he became like Abraham. They say that they became so much looking like the same because he did everything like Abraham did. Kimulut Chasadim, learning Torah, teaching other people, and he made, when he came to himself, he felt like he's a nothing. So much so that when he went to Lavan in order to get a wife for Yitzchak Avinu, when Abraham sent him to go back and get Rivkah as a wife, they asked him, "Who are you?" Here's a guy who came with 10 camels. It says all the good of his master in his hand. He had a bill worth billions of dollars that Abraham had given him in order to use as to show that when whoever is going to come and Israel's going to marry, she's going to become well-to-do. She's going to be well-to-do for the rest of her life. And all this, Eliezer was in charge of. And he could have said, "Excuse me, do you know who I am? I am the Ramatkal. I am the chief of staff of the house of Abraham, and nothing moves in this house without my permission." The question they ask him, "Who are you?" What does he say? Let's get one thing straight. Eved Abraham Anochi. First of all, I'm an Eved. I am an Eved. I'm a slave to my master. I'm nothing when it comes to myself. All myself I'm giving to my master that I learn everything from. And because of that, Hashem changed him from cursed, something that you could never change in a regular way. To go from cursed, he was a son of Nimrod, who was a son of Cush, who was a son of Canaan over there, who was cursed by Noach, that for all generations he's going to be a slave. But because he made himself into a nothing, his anava and his humbleness, Hashem changed him from cursed into blessed. And who is the one who gives him the blessing? Who puts the words in his mouth? Hashem puts the words in the mouth of none other than Lavan, who wanted to destroy him. He says, "Come, Baruch Hashem, blessed of Hashem," and there's no words in the Torah this is for nothing. When it says blessed, that means that he went straight from being cursed to blessed. And if you see from this, the lesson of humbleness, when a man or a woman makes himself secondary to someone who's higher than him, and he becomes humble, that Hashem takes him from a bad situation and makes him to the highest situation. So much so, how much we have to make ourselves into a nothing when it comes to our master, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How a lot of times we feel like we're this and we're that. We did this, we did that. No, we're nothing. When Abraham says, "Eved Abraham Anochi," and he's talking to a flesh, meat, and blood, when it comes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what are we supposed to say? That Hashem, you created us, you're giving us oxygen, we wake up in the morning, we have legs and arms and eyes. At least say thank you and stop saying it's me, 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 me. When you have this attitude of Eved Abraham of Eliezer, what it is to become a slave to a higher authority, and of course to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will pick us up and make us higher than we ever imagined we could be. At the last point, we know that in the end of the Parashah, when Avraham Avinu passes away, that his sons Ishmael and Yitzchak bury him in the cave of Machpelah in Hebron. And our sages tell us that actually Ishmael did teshuvah. He was chozer b'teshuvah and repented at the end of his life. As evil as he was, when he was trying to kill Yitzchak in the beginning, throwing arrows at him, teaching him all these bad stuff. In the end of the day, the prayers of a father of Abraham worked, and in the end, Ishmael, our sages tell us that he became chozer b'teshuvah. How do we know that? Because this is in the Parashah, and his sons, the sons of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Ishmael went to bury him. And Ishmael was older, so he should have said Ishmael and then Yitzchak. The fact that Ishmael let Yitzchak go forward, that means he repented and he realized who's bigger than him in Torah, and he let Ishmael go first. But we also have another halacha that you do not let a non-Jew to go behind you, because he might as well take a dagger and slap it in the back of the Jew. I guess so many times happened. So what happened over here? The fact that I heard this from the word from the mouth of the holy Rav Mordechai Eliyahu myself. The fact that Yitzchak walked in front of Ishmael, not having to worry about Ishmael stabbing him in the back, is that he was sure that he did repented and did teshuvah. So too, our sages are telling us that this is what's going to happen at the end of the time. At the end of the time, Ishmael, as evil as they are, and how much evil side of his we saw 4 weeks ago, a month ago, when they took men, women, elderly, little girls, little boys, and until today's babies, they are stuck in Gaza. What they're doing to them, Hashem Shmor, we don't know. Just to think about it, tears come down. But at the end of the day, at the end of this Parashah, we have a promise from Hashem. Last pasuk of the Parashah, it says, Al panei kol echad nafal. Rashi says, what does it mean nafal? At the end of the day, he'll fall. Ishmael will have the biggest fall. He'll realize, like his mother, that he's a slave to the Jewish people. He'll realize that, like his mother, Hagar, she's nothing but a maidservant to Sarah. And we know, B'schut and mitzvah of sisid, it says in the Gemara, that every Jew who does the mitzvah of sisid is going to have 2,800 slaves from all the nations. And I heard this recently from Misa Cohen, he should have a Refuah Shelema. How's every Jew going to support all these slaves that are coming? And he said, it's going to be a lot of money. Okay, it's good to have 2,800 slaves, but how are you going to support them? Where's the money? A family who has 18 children right now has a hard time supporting them. On top of that, I need 2,800 slaves. So he said that at the end of the day, b'schut the mitzvah sisid, all the money the slaves are going to bring to us. Ishmael, who is the son of Hagar and has all this money from Neft, from Delek, Saudi Arabia, all these rich countries, Iran, all these monies that they have gathered over the years, they're going to realize that they did this all wrong, that they are the slaves to the Jewish people. They're going to come to our recognition themselves, and they're going to come and grab our Shiur and say, please take me to become a slave in your house to learn from you. Just like Hagar, her father, Paro, told her, it's better for you to become a maidservant in the house of Tzaddikim, Avram and Sarah, than to be in the palace and learn from my stupid ways. So too Ishmael will learn that it's better to become slaves to the Jewish nation, to come and learn from them Torah, and they're going to bring all their wealth. And Bezat Hashem, with that, we're going to have 2,800 slaves. What does that have to do with Sisid then today? This is not the Parashah of Sisid. We all know that recently in the army, I'm sure you're getting all these videos how the Jewish soldiers in the army, they're getting tefillin, and more importantly, they're getting Sisid. They don't want to go into the battlefield without having Sisid, because they know Sisid helps them at the time of danger. So too, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is sending us a message. When you're keeping the mitzvah of Sisid, and the women are keeping the mitzvah of Tzniut, there's nothing more that they could be protected, because we know it says by Sisid, if you do the mitzvah of Sisid, you recognize the whole Torah, that it will be a boomerang, not a boomerang, it will be a mitzvah, goreret mitzvah, you do another mitzvah, you be chozer to teshuvah, 100%, and that's what we see Baruch Hashem, our brothers are doing in the army, in the front lines. They're going in there by saying Shema Yisrael, by saying Hashem Elokim, Hashem Melech, Hashem Malach, Hashem Loch L'Olam, and they're going there with the Sisid hanging around, and B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to have the promise of the Moshiach coming soon, and everybody's grabbing to the Sisid of the Jewish people, and it's going to be with Chesed Rachamim. This Shabbat, like we said in the beginning, is a Shabbat of Mevarachim, where we go from the dark month of Mar Cheshvan to the month of Kislev, which is full of or full of light, the lights of Chanukah. And just like we had the redemption in Chanukah when a few went against many, that Hashem brought the final redemption, not because we had the might and the F-16s and the F-35s. That was, of course, you got to do Ishtadlut. But we saw that 6 people in Chanukah, they went to the front lines and fought with an empire, because it said, Mi chamocha v'alim Hashem. We're putting all our trust in you. We're saying the Tehillim of Yoshe B'Seter Elyon, which the Maccabees said, They said with all their heart, and Hashem listened to them. He brought the final redemption at that time, and so too, Bezat Hashem is going to bring the final redemption very soon. Shabbat Shalom and Chazak, Chazak, Menit Chazek.